Aging is a real thing. I crack jokes at Rob all the time that he's old. Marina's a lot younger than us, so she don't get those jokes. But I am literally on the mend because after the election, after winning and becoming the District 6 rep in Stockton, my body just shut down. It was over. It was over. I had some really crazy stomach thing. And I'm a hypochondriac. I don't know if you all are hypochondriacs, or those of you watching, but I'm the type of person that if I sneeze too hard, there's some type of lump in my lung. I don't know. I just automatically start to think the worst. I think on one of my podcasts, I told the story. This is before I was an elect. By the way, I'm not going to change. So just embrace or brace whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'm going to stay me. But do you remember the time that I found out I was HIV negative?
Yes.
And that I didn't have any STDs? Yes. Were you around for that? And look, let me not make a joke out of this because there are people that are struggling with that. I'm just not one of them. But I had gotten so sick, I had made myself believe that I had HIV. And I flew my friend in town. I told Rob not to come to work. I told everybody to leave my house. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. And my best friend, Calvin, came in town. He's in my book. If you go read it, you know Calvin history. He came in town for a week to stay with me because I just wanted him to sit in a house of silence while I mourn. But that showed the lack of education I had on STDs, and now you can live with HIV. You don't have to die from it. You know, there's no cure. Well, magic. Anyway, I thought I had it and didn't have it because that's the psychological thing. I don't know what it is. As soon as I get a cold, oh my God, I have cancer. So I had a stomach thing. I went from stomach cancer, pancreatic cancer, colon. Well, not colon cancer because I had my colon checked. But there's all these things. I had a inflamed intestine. How does your intestine get inflamed? Wow, not like that. Well, either way, I took medication, I took blood work, and even then I had to go further. So I went and did an STD check, and everything came back clear. And I tell these stories because there are people out there like me that get sick or are afraid of getting sick or are afraid to go get tested. We all got to get every test. If you want to stay alive longer, you have to be on top of your health. I will always use my platform to push that type of responsibility, not just because healthcare unlocked, but you know, we want people to live longer. We all are like, we're all going to die. Damn, it's kind of sad to start the show off with that, right? Do you think about mortality?
Every day.
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think about dying every day.
Mm-hmm. No. Why?
Because I'm always like, life is so short. And I was going to say something that a guest said from yesterday.
Say it.
Okay. Yeah. I can't. It's not released. But I always think about just being in a box and never opening my eyes again.
Oh,
is that fucked up?
Every day, though?
Yeah, every day.
Why is it on every day?
I don't think I think about it every day, but it does cross my mind. Crazy enough, I actually had this conversation with Johnny today because I was like randomly going through some YouTubes, and then this YouTube popped up about some young people who got killed in a car accident, and they were just turning the corner. But it's just like I do think about it, and I'm just like, it's so final. I'm like, what is next?
Well, the book that I wrote, God Must Have Forgotten About Me, talks about faith over fear. So like, we want to have faith that we're going to get through. I am very like safety prone, so I always think about situations. The other night I went out to pizza, and yes, I had my friends with me. It was like about 6 of us who were having pizza, and I had 2 security with me. And it was interesting because the night I decided to go get pizza, security said, do you want 1 person or 2? I said, well, we're going to go see Sexy Red. We need 2. But then we went to pizza, and we had 2 people. And thank God we did, because we were having pizza, and somebody walked in at 2 a.m. with a gun in their waistband, and the security saw him. But we had 1 position by the door and 1 sitting over here to where all angles were covered, the street, the this, that. And then when they saw me, they went outside and waited in their car because maybe they were a fan or whatever. But then now they're waiting outside with the gun. So it was like a whole thing where they had to follow me and stuff. And when you think about just like life in general, you try to plan as much as you can, but like Liam Payne probably didn't plan to fall out a 3-story building, right? So you just never know when your time is up. But I hope that people out there are being safe. But I have to tell you, healthcare professionals, when it comes to public figures, right? And even though Marina and Rob have somewhat of a private life, you know them because you see them on the show or you see them around, and they're involved with everything we got going on. When we come to the doctor's office, you do not get to yell out my name when I open the door. Like, it's not The Price is Right. Like, there's some consolation prize or something that's going to happen that's good for me. Wait. No, this is not the experience when you walk in the doctor's office. I went into the doctor's office the other day. And as soon as I walked in, as soon as I opened the door, the guy behind the desk, whom I've never met, I've never gone to dinner with, I don't know him, said, "Hey, Jason Lee." And I just kind of looked around and went in the room. Yeah, privacy is important too, you know. And nowadays, and I know this, people are gonna say that this is probably not the reason why you should be afraid to catch anything. I don't want nobody to know, because you know the first thing they're gonna do is go on the Abby or Grindr or somewhere and be like, "I talked to No. And I also refuse to do the anal swab. I said, "There's just no."
What is that? A swab in your butthole?
Yeah.
A Q-tip, like a dry Q-tip?
Yeah, it's like the long.
Go ahead and explain to what explain to
What
them the
is
procedures of all the STD testing that goes on.
Yeah, they swab your mouth and then
Your throat.
your throat, your throat, and then you do the anal swab and then you do the pee cup
And the blood.
Well, what does the butt one tell you that it's not in the pee?
They just test for everything like gonorrhea, chlamydia.
Well, and I don't have any. There's no entryway, so for me, I told him I'm protesting.
But a girl and a guy they might like to lick each other in the backside. So I mean, you got to test everything.
Eat the groceries.
My taste buds have changed after my surgery. Yeah, anyway, my digestive tract refuses to participate in certain activities. But what I will tell you is that it's really a very vulnerable experience when you're getting an STD check, because they're asking all these intimate questions, and but it's really important. And look, we're making light of it, but folks, go get tested, because the conversations you need to have with your doctor, while they may be uncomfortable, are probably more uncomfortable to have with the person that gave you something. And a lot of you out there, you know how that feels.